Hey friend, this is Pierre Laguerre here, your daily motivator, here to challenge, inspire, and motivate you today. Today on episode 320. So here we go, 320. Imagine that. We're moving forward here. So today I'm talking to you about considering the cost. Consider the cost. We've been talking about your goals, and I want to warn you of one quick thing. And it is the fact that we do underestimate how much we can accomplish in 10 years, and we overestimate what we can do in 1 year. And this is why people go back every year to resolution after resolution, New Year's resolution and New Year's resolution. The reason is because they do not consider the cost. You see, at the end of the day, you are gonna have some key goals that you've put down on paper. But what I want you to do is go back through the list of goals and actually look at what is truly doable in the next 30 days, the next 90 days, and the next 12 months. And then if you've put stuff down that you know you may not necessarily accomplish in a year, then I want you to think in terms of a SMART goal and see, when can I truly realize this? When is it realistic for me to get to that goal? And that's all I want you to do, and say to yourself, well, you know what? Maybe I have a goal to reach $1 million in my business. Possibly, based on the way I'm running my business right now, unless I change the processes and hire more folks to work with me, I'm going to have to make, or rather put this down for 18 months as opposed to a year, or 3 years as opposed to 2 years. So you have to consider the cost. It's the same thing as running a marathon. You don't show up on the course tomorrow of the Boston Marathon or New York Marathon and say, I'm ready. You're going to have to first understand that the best marathoners are running all year long, number one. And if they're not in training all year long to run several marathons, for those that are just taking up a marathon or a half marathon for that matter, which I've run, they basically have to go into weeks of training. For a full marathon, you got to put in at least 18 weeks of training, 6 days a week training, and all the way till the last 2 weeks, and actually going in less time the last week or so that you can save your muscle strength to run the full marathon. Now, there's a method to everything, but you first have to consider the cost. If you do not consider the cost, then you are putting yourself at a disadvantage. You see, let's understand something simple. When you buy a mortgage, yep, you bought it. They've told you it's going to take 30 years. Now, ain't nobody got time to pay no mortgage for 30 years. Why didn't you consider the cost and decide to do it in 5 or less, 15 or less? Now, it's been proven by some great financial advisors that I know that you can pay off your mortgage in 5 years, even with the level of income that you have right now. If you want to find out more about that, just check the link at the bottom of this podcast. And there will be tools there that I'll reveal to you that they've used for that. But here's the key thing. What I want you to do, frankly, is to consider the cost of every goal you've put down. Go back and say, how much time is this going to cost me? Yesterday, we talked about the plan. Well, today, what I want you to consider is, okay, if I say I'm going to run that marathon, I'm going to have to commit to 18 weeks of training. Let me open my calendar for the next 6 months and see exactly, number one, when is the next marathon that I would like to participate in? Is that marathon at least 4 months away? Is it at least 4 to 6 months away, frankly? Because now you have to get in the mindset that, wait, I have to get out there. Based on where you live, you're going to have to run in cold, in rain. It doesn't matter. Heat, you're going to have to run because now you're committed. You see, this is the key thing about considering the cost, because it helps you to say, okay, now I understand what is the cost that I have to pay. I'm going to commit to it. Same thing with that 30-year mortgage. Once you understand what the cost is versus what you could save, you could commit yourself to saying, I'm going to do it in 15 years, 10 years, or better yet, 5 years. Or the best, I'm going to save the money and buy the house, so I don't have to be in debt. Considering the cost is nothing more so that by the time you get halfway through, you don't give up, you don't quit, you don't cave in. That's the whole reason for considering the cost. So I want you to go back to your goals and consider the cost, because it is going to cost you something to actually reach those goals. It is going to cost you something dear to actually get those financial goals, get those goals with your business. It is going to cost you something. And the most important asset it's going to cost you is your time. So you have to understand how those things relate to the time. Can you really afford to give up that kind of time to reach that goal? If not, you need to reconsider. Again, this is Pierre Laguerre, your daily motivator. It's been a pleasure being with you today. Hope I've inspired you, challenged you, and motivated you. I'll catch you on the next episode.